All right, group. Up next on the Second Chance podcast with Jeff Robertson is going to be Pramoda Vyasarao, and it's spelled Pramoda and then Vyasarao. Very good listen. It's a brief episode, only about 30 minutes, but Pramoda is a former developer and leader within Meta and Oracle, some of our bigger tech companies worldwide. And he exited Meta and started a coaching company. And he's got some different perspectives, and he's worked in these high level environments, some of our bigger companies. So I'm excited for this episode. And as brief as it is, he's very to the point, and but we get a lot done in that 30-minute time period. He's someone I hope to have back on as he launches his course. So let me know what you think. I'm excited as always. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and send me a direct message. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Second Chance podcast with Jeff Robertson. Today I'm excited to welcome Pramoda Vyasarao to the Second Chance podcast. Pramoda is the founder of Change Smith Coaching, and he brings over 2 decades of experience working with tech giants like Oracle and Meta. After starting as an engineer and moving into leadership roles, he realized the importance of developing strong leaders, which led him to shift his focus to coaching. For the past 17 years, Pramoda has coached senior leaders from across 11 countries, helping them grow personally and professionally. His coaching focuses on leadership, communication, and storytelling, along with his best-selling book, Beyond Your Limits, is inspiring people to push past their barriers and achieve intentional growth. But Pramoda's journey wasn't without its own challenges. After losing both his father and grandfather in a short span, he was forced to face some deep existential questions. In a pivotal moment, he turned his life around through intentional goal setting, a transformation he now shares with others. Today, he's here to talk about his journey, the importance of setting meaningful goals, and how we can all find purpose in life's toughest moments. Pramoda, it's an honor to have you on the show. Welcome to the Second Chance podcast.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm so excited to be here in the show.
Tell me, your professional journey has taken you from engineering to leadership coaching. What was the moments? What was the moment that made you realize leadership development was your calling?
I had my own challenges as an engineer. English was my third language, and I was working with people from other countries. I found it difficult to communicate, especially in public, to share ideas. This was back in 2002. I went to Toastmasters to improve my own communication skill and public speaking skills. For about 3 years, I went there consistently improving myself. Later, I realized people came to me asking help. How do I prepare a speech? How do I deliver a speech? How do I give feedback to people? I realized that as I went through my own journey, I had developed some skills and methodologies to help other people. I was naturally doing it. People came to me and I was offering these ideas. That was a moment of breakthrough for me that my own experience, my learning can help other people expedite their learning and journey.
I like that. You're a product of your own work, right? Um, Losing both your father and grandfather in a short period must have been a life altering experience. How did those losses shape your approach to coaching and personal development?
You know, within 2 years time frame between 2001 and 2003, I lost my father first and then grandfather. The biggest challenge back then was existential crisis. I had a high paying salary, good job title, prestige, and many other things, but life was meaningless. You're just going through the motions, but not really any meaning in daily activities. And the biggest change happened in my life when I started looking at goals as a way to create meaning in my life. Instead of finding meaning, I realized I can create meaning through my activities. That is the fundamental tenet of my coaching now, that when I work with clients, the first question is, if you're not feeling hopeful in life, you are missing goals in life. Hope has three components. You have a goal, you have the pathways for that goal, and you have the willingness to achieve those goals, or the belief that I can achieve these goals. Hope is a combination of those three things. You have goals, you have willpower, you have way power. I come back to these three things with my clients and say, what's missing here? Is it the goal missing, or the willpower that you can achieve the goal is missing, or the way power, the power to take actions consistently every day? And we fix one of these three things consistently to ensure they are more hopeful and their life is meaningful.
Three simple things too, right? That's really cool. It's three focuses, but you also credit John Goddard's story as a turning point in your life. And can you share what about his journey resonated with you and how it influenced your own goals?
In those 2 years after I lost my father and my grandfather, I was seeking knowledge in self-help books, spirituality, and so on. That's when I went to one of the trainings at Oracle back then. This was in 2003, October, I remember distinctly. This training was about time management, how to manage your time properly to accomplish more. In that training, I learned about John Goddard. John lived in California, by the way. So when he was 14, he made his own list of 127 goals. Things like climbing the Mount Everest, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, crossing the Nile River on kayak, and so on. He wrote all these crazy goals. I saw the list of goals that he had that really inspired me to figure out, all right, John had adventurous goals and he went behind his adventure. What would I love to do? Now, I didn't have any such adventurous goals. So the question was, what can I make in my life to be more meaningful? Back then, I had been obese, overweight, for about 50 pounds overweight. I lost all that. I was afraid of water. I was not able to swim. I learned how to swim. I was scared of public speaking. I became a really good speaker in public, enjoyed public speaking. So I took all my challenges, limiting beliefs, I set them as my own personal goals year by year. In my book, I talk about 52 goals I've achieved in the last 21 years. Those goals stretched me, they gave me meaning in my life, they injected hope into my life.
50 pounds down and now making your way not only as a good public speaker, but as a podcaster. Man, that's a journey in itself. That takes discipline. It takes mindset. So big kudos to you and congratulations for stepping outside of your comfort zone and figuring those things out. Um, you've coached leaders in 11 countries. What are some universal challenges leaders face, and how do you help them overcome those hurdles?
The biggest challenge, Jeff, I've seen in the last 17 years is people do not have intrinsic goals. Let me explain. There are two types of goals: extrinsic goals and intrinsic goals. Extrinsic goals are common, like making more money, getting promoted in a job, go to the next level. These are extrinsic goals, something you can measure from outside. Usually, they also come from outside. That is why they are called extrinsic goals. Everybody has those. All my clients have these goals. What they don't have is the intrinsic goals. Intrinsic goals are always inside out. They are things like, I want to become a good speaker. I want to lose weight. I want to run a full marathon. I want to start my own company. I want to be more kind to people around me. I want to be a good friend, father, and husband. These are intrinsic goals. It doesn't come from outside, it comes from inside. This is the biggest challenge I've noticed, especially in my clients who are high paid software engineers, managers, and directors. They have amazing job title, salary, and so on. What is missing is this intrinsic goal, which can inject meaning and hope and happiness into their lives.
It's powerful stuff, man. Your book, Beyond Your Limits, has been a bestseller. What's the key message you want readers to walk away with after reading?
If you were to combine this in one sentence, the whole book summary is: Everyone can achieve meaning and happiness through intrinsic goals. That is the summary of the book. If you want to call in one word, we all can achieve happiness, meaning through goals.
Is does your book really does it help lay out that framework of where we set the goal and help create the path and help kind of explain that overall picture of what it takes to reach those goals?
I wanted my book to be different, so it is deliberately differently organized. It has three
Yep.
sections, sections 1, 2, and 3. In section 1, I give a lot of demonstration, not information, because I wanted to be the example to people and say, here is how I achieved these difficult goals for me. They were challenging, meaningful, and yet difficult goals. 52 goals I achieved. I talk about each goal, what is the goal, why I achieved, and how I achieved the goal. That's the section 1. Section 2 talks about a 7-point framework for any goal setting, whether it is life goals or business goals. I have a 7-point framework for achieving your goals, starting with begin with the end in mind, ending with enjoy the journey. Those are the first and last steps. In the section 3, last section, I talk about common mistakes people do when they set goals and why people fail in goal achievement. That is in section number 3.
That's exactly that's a great framework. Uh, Promoted. That's something that really helps draw that out. And I teach some similar stuff, and I keep it very simple of just like, hey, if you create the goal, if you create the end, the path will start to reveal itself and you'll start working toward that. Your book helps really plug that part of it in. And people don't, a lot of times folks they'll set the path, but not the goal. And they're on the path, but they're just kind of just blindly walking through. And all the things that can help them achieve the goal are kind of being put in their path, but they don't know because they haven't set the goal. So set the goal. I love that, man. And you touched on your weight loss and you touched on your speaking, but you mentioned those 50 things in your book. Is there one or two more that you wanted to share that became a big deal for you?
Well, big deal is, I was part of a layoff that happened at Meta last year. I took it in a stride. I started my own coaching company. That was one of my goals. I wanted to become a coach and business owner at age 50. But because of this event in my life, I was able to achieve that goal at age 43 instead of 50.
Yeah.
So I have a business of my own now. I published a book. What is funny is in the book, the last goal is publishing a nonfiction book. That is goal number 52. That's the goal here. So it is so nicely packaged that the last goal is to publish a book. And I talk about all the remaining goals while I talk about achieving the last goal, which is goal number 52, publishing a book. One more goal, which is I'm proud of, is I donated blood about 50 times so far, 10 times in the United States, 40 times in India. So 50 overall.
That's good stuff. Did you and you kind of you jumped over it there, but I don't want that to become something that we overlook. You got laid off from Meta. And through that getting laid off from Meta, your way you just said this was I wanted to be a coach at 50. Getting laid off allowed me to be a coach at 43. That's people don't frame things like that, and that's a powerful mindset. And I want folks to understand that is Ed Milet will call it repurposing your mess. And instead of you didn't see the negative of getting laid off, you saw the positive of how it freed up your future that you could go and pursue what you want. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I believe, Jeff, everything happens for a reason. The question I always ask is, what is the opportunity in the situation? What is the opportunity for me in the situation? Every time I ask the question, I get an empowering response, not a disempowering response. So questions are powerful. You ask great questions, you get great answers, and you can take action based on those answers.
I appreciate you help guiding all of us on your goal setting, and the intentionality that comes with that. But How do you advise someone who's lost motivation or purpose to take that first step?
In my experience, Jeff, anybody who has lost motivation, first question to ask is, what are you thinking right now? We are all creatures of thoughts. We think thoughts coming from outside. The external events are dictating our thoughts, but that is not the case. Lack of motivation is a mental state, and that state is triggered through a set of thoughts. You can always come back and take action later, but acknowledge the fact that right now you are full of thoughts. It's like a snow globe, totally shaken. It is disturbed right now. Your lack of motivation is a state of mind. That is the number one thing I want people to realize, that if you take any wrong decisions in that state of mind, that will not be productive. If you can only bring that awareness that today I am a little upset because of my thoughts, I am disturbed because of these thoughts going on in my mind, they will clear away in a few minutes or a few hours. But that awareness is extremely crucial to take next steps to get motivated.
Did you worked with some of the biggest, Oracle, Meta, some of the household names, some of the world's biggest leaders when it comes to just tech, and they're some of our biggest tech giants. What leadership lessons from those environments do you bring into your own coach's practice?
The biggest thing I have learned in my career, Jeff, is through courses, my own coaching journey as a client, and watching my managers and other leaders, is this is an era of knowledge workers. Earlier, there was industry workers who were using their body to be productive. Now, this generation is the tech generation is full of knowledge workers who are exceptionally good in what they do. They are knowledgeable, and they are more knowledgeable than I am if I was a manager. This shift has been fundamental to my growth as a leader in both organizations at Oracle and Meta, that people in my team know more than I do in technical terms because they are knowledge workers. Their productivity, their well being is extremely crucial for their success and organization success. This is one thing that I've learned as an organization leader, that if you treat people well, if you respect them, they will give the best work to this company. And that's a mental model most managers don't have. They think it's still 1980s, where industrial age of people working, and it's all command and control. You can command and control people. It is not the case.
Yeah.
There is so much change now. There is so much of opportunities available now. People need to be in the organization. You want quality people. That can happen only when you respect and empathize with people, get the best from them through coaching, not telling them, but asking the right questions to guide them in the right direction.
That's spot on. I see that. I see that even in industrial settings and clients that I work with, to where they're trying to communicate the same way they did in generations previous. And that is what you're saying, is that's consistent across the board. We have to change how we speak and how we talk, and expectations are different from our workers and from folks that are coming into our companies. And I like the way you frame that, is just learning the the tech side of our conversations. That's good stuff, man. Um, but it also takes us to your um, self doubt and your own struggles, and how do you help your clients navigate similar internal struggles that you've experienced?
As we discussed earlier, people do not have intrinsic goals. I always start my coaching with, all right, so what goals can you take this year? Many times what happens is they tell me, I don't have any big goals in my life. I'm clueless. What do I do? We ask two simple questions to begin with. We explore together. One question is, what one thing you can add to your life to make it better? They will have something to add. Usually I wait. They give me a response adding this. would improve my life?
Yeah.
The second question we explore together is what one thing if you subtract or remove or delete that would improve your life today? They will invariably give me at least two things. For example, things like checking less social media, using my phone less, playing with my kids, having a great talk with my wife or my husband. So there is always something that comes either to add or to remove quickly. They already know it. It's a matter of reflecting on what they already know and putting some goals in the next few days to see what can I achieve on a daily basis. So it's the time for reflection is something we bring together in coaching discussions and say what can be done today to make your life more meaningful, more exciting, more zest into your life. By asking these questions, suddenly they are not checking their phone, they are not in front of their laptop. They are in a different mindset now, which is a reflective mindset to think about life. What do they want? What excites them? People rarely just get this opportunity these days. They're so busy working and doing other things with the chores. Just this 60-minute conversation can be really empowering sometimes to figure out, oh my God, I never thought about my own fitness journey or my own health. Not been taking care of my health. So these conversations raise the awareness. And awareness, once it is raised, it can be powerful. It can put them in the right action. Because many times it's not the information, it's the insight that leads people to action and permanent changes.
When you were at Meta, what was a day in your life like? What was I don't think I've ever spoke to anyone who worked inside of Meta. What is a day in Pramoda's life look like when you worked at Meta?
Yeah. I was a senior manager at Meta, which means I had about three managers who I was supporting. The total organization size was about 27. You can say three people reporting to me, and the total team was about 27. So the day was typically, I would say, 60% in meetings.
Yeah.
60% in meetings. There could be one-to-one conversation with a manager on my team or a one-to-one conversation with a skip level senior engineer on my team who wanted to talk to me about some opportunities, some growth feedback, and so on. There could be group meetings. We have product reviews every week on various areas of product, what's working well, what is not working well, what could we improve this product, what are the major trends happening. Those are the product review discussions. And there are some trainings as well, as part of being a manager, we take several trainings to improve. Uh, and the last piece is writing documents. Think about the future of the team, what's happening in the team, in the organization, and write documents about those things. Meta was an asynchronous workplace, which means a lot of communication was done asynchronously through writing.
Right.
Just like Facebook.com, they have an internal tool for internal communication. So a lot of these things are written and posted publicly so that not only my team, everybody in the organization can see our organization goals and how we are addressing challenges to educate other people. So it's an asynchronous environment, a lot of open culture where people share what's happening in the team. So to sum up, mostly meetings, one-on-one conversations, writing documents, and writing memos to the organization members.
Wow. That's still like I said, I appreciate that insight and just kind of giving us all a picture of what every day looks like. What tell me, in your opinion, what's the most important trait for someone to develop if they want to lead effectively and live meaningfully?
There are many, but I'll pick one to start with. It is growth mindset.
Yeah. Yep.
This growth mindset is a big one. The ability to learn anything you want to learn and having the patience to say, yes, I know I'm not good at it yet. Yet is a really powerful word. I'm not good yet, but I will learn along the way in a few weeks or few months or few years. That mindset of growth and say, I will figure out. It's okay. I'll figure out. This can go a long way in two directions. One direction is me as an individual, as a leader. There is always a case my team knows more than I do, or somebody else knows more than I do. Having this mindset gives me this fortress to be comfortable and say, yes, I don't need to be insecure. Let people go on their own pace. I will pick up later because I have the growth mindset. I can learn. The other dimension of this is helping other people. There are always people in the organization. There is the disparity of information, like different people know different things. Their knowledge level is different. Now, instead of trying to compare as a leader, like who is better, who is not good, you know that everybody is growth minded. Given time and opportunity and learning options and trainings, anybody can improve. This mindset can also be helpful to manage teams because now that you believe people have potential, they will grow. They might take time, they might take extra few weeks or maybe a couple of months, but the strong belief that they can learn, they can adapt, they can grow will help you as a leader. So growth mindset is important as an individual in my life and leadership, as well as managing my team because they're individuals on my team. And I need to believe that they can grow as individuals and in the future as leaders.
I think that growth mindset encompasses it all. I was thinking communication, but with growth mindset comes communication. You got that's a really that's a good one to lean in on because I think it casts a wide net and you're gonna see all the benefits from that.
Because the
As we wrap, go ahead. Sorry.
because the opposite of that is fixed mindset, which means
Yeah.
my potential is fixed. I cannot grow. I cannot learn this. It's not something for me. I cannot do this. That is a dead end. That will not help us grow in life. So mindset is much better, more powerful than fixed mindset.
I like that, my man. As we wrap up, I just wanted to talk about your new course, and you've got a new course launching soon. What do you hope participants will gain that goes beyond what they might learn from reading your book? And what else can you tell us about your course?
One thing that happened after I published the book, Jeff, is people kept reaching out to me for one-to-one coaching. As you know, because of time zone challenges, currency differences, and many other challenges, I don't think I can take more coaching clients. So this 7-week course is a way to scale my coaching process because I believe in 7 weeks, they will learn the art of finding their goals, finding their pathways, and improving their willpower. So goals, willpower, and way power. They'll develop all three in these 7 weeks together. It's a cohort-based program. They will meet about 20 people from other countries as well, India, Qatar, Tanzania, the US, maybe a couple of more countries. They'll meet other people, learn from them, learn the art of goal settings. By the end of 7 weeks, they will have a clarity on what would they like to achieve in the next 1 to 3 years, both short-term goals and long-term goals. Have a clear plan for those goals and have an accountability mechanism to make progress consistently on their goals. So that's what they will get by 7 weeks program. By being with me and other participants, develop the tools required for a long-lasting goal achievement process. They can use that for any other goals as well.
When do you anticipate your course being out? And then how can folks find it?
The course is starting on 26th October, which is, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. You can find the course on maven.com. You can search my name or my book's name. Maven.com is the website. I sent you the link as well. I can send you again. If
Yeah,
you can
please.
add that in the show notes, that would be great for your audience to see if they want to explore the course.
Yeah, no, I will. And then is that link, and you sent me, and I have that. I'll make sure we backlink that. And then is that the best way you want people to get in touch with you?
They can follow me on LinkedIn. I create quality content, free content on personal development, leadership, and communication, goal setting every day from Sunday to Monday, all 7 days. You can find something useful on LinkedIn. That is my platform. That's where my audience lives, tech professionals. You can get free information on LinkedIn. You can buy my book on Amazon. It's available in Kindle version, paperback, audiobook, as well as on Spotify. If you are a premium member, it is free for you. You can also go to my website, chainsmith.me, to know more about my digital courses and what I offer in one-to-one courses. Uh, Chainsmith is one word, just like blacksmith. .me is the like chainsmith.me.
Moda, I can't thank you enough for taking time just to tell us more about what you do and the level of expertise that you have. I talk with a lot of coaches. I worked with a lot of coaches. Um, and you're coming from from tech, and you're coming from an organization that is well thought of. They're trendsetters throughout our world, and for someone to have the opportunity to learn from you is super powerful. So I hope folks will take advantage of that. I hope they connect with you, but then I hope also that you and I are able to connect after you get your course going, and we can reconnect and you can share these success stories that are going to be coming with your course. And I'm excited to hear those.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed the discussion, Jeff. Thank you for inviting. It was a lovely conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Pramoda Vyasarao, Second Chance Podcast.